is Dragon Ball Super, which was okay for me, but it's not going to surpass like the previous two series he's did. Your thoughts?
So I haven't really watched any Dragon Ball Super. Like I get the gist of like what's going on, but
Hmm.
I haven't really watched any of it. But yeah, I watched Dragon Ball Z. I didn't watch too much of Dragon Ball. Um, if we're talking about like sequels and whatnot, I think Dragon Ball Z was. Uh,
Yeah,
I mean, it was clearly it was like an incredible sequel if you think about it, because of what Dragon Ball Z did for like anime and like in general for like anime being like mainstream pop culture. Now it's like in terms of like anime being pop culture, that's the thing now. That's the norm. Um,
yeah,
but like that, like does it get to here without Dragon Ball Z influencing that? Like 20 or so years ago.
yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
it was huge. And I think with Dragon Ball Z, yeah, I mean like in terms of like the argument whether it's necessary or not, like I don't think any sequels are necessary, but they're good. Like if you get a good sequel, people are gonna love it. So
Yeah, and or also stuff we can get on to, like say, well, apparently you never played Assassin's Creed, and neither do I. Well, I just started playing the game, but there are other games too that do have sequels that we'll do in a lightning round. But games like Pokemon Gold and Silver, that is like the true sequel to the series. I mean, like there are stuff that happened and it takes place after the first Earth Pokemon series, Red and Blue. And after Gold and Silver, they did their own thing up until Black and White 2, I believe, which acts as a sequel to the first Black and White. Any idea on this? Okay.
Black and White. Well, just to talk about Black and White too, I thought even though I never played it, I've watched a lot of it, and like I know like whatever additional they added onto it, and I thought it's funny because it's like they took the original games and like made them like the better version, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
it's like what like the first game should have been. I don't know, but that was a really good like additional versions because usually like Pokemon games you have like a third version that comes out like a year later.
Right.
Yeah. Even though they've kind of like deviated from that formula um as of late.
Yeah.
But yeah. Um I think some I think some games I guess in that case like for Pokemon it's very unique. It kind of like is necessary to have sequels because the only way to continue the franchise is if you come out with games that like continue like the series, I guess. Otherwise it's gonna, die out. Like, we don't still talk about Pokemon unless they continue putting out new games because if they would have stopped after the first generation of Pokemon games, we would not be talking about it. So I think in a case like that, like with video games, especially a video game of that nature, um, I think a sequel is necessary. But with that being said, you kind of wonder whether it is a sequel really because it's kind of like I don't know how the timeline works. I feel like it's weird, but like it takes place in like a different region of the world. And it's different for the most part anyway, they're different characters. Uh
Right.
Sometimes they like refer to like other characters in different regions, but for the most part they're different characters in every region and then different Pokemon for the most part too. They're really expanding on like this world, like this actual globe with like different regions. Um yeah, I think for Pokemon, for instance, it's necessary. Yeah.
Yeah. yeah. A lot. There are also other games that do have their own sequels and prequels, like the Zelda series, which is a whole can of worms we might dig up some other time. And also we have Final Fantasy, which is pretty much the only sequels that ever came out of it. How were like the numbered sequels, like X2, who and whatnot.
Yeah. Let's yeah, Final Fantasy seemed like specifically they're different like tales, like different stories to be told. They're
Yeah,
not necessarily in a set universe. They're just like different stories, you know, happening in different worlds and different like space and time like
yeah,
settings and whatnot. And
yeah.
yeah,
Okay, we're 19 minutes in, so yeah. As for the thought of, I only believe a sequel is only necessary if it continues on, like you said, like develop the world or anything like that. And yeah, we can all get into everything, but other than that, sometimes a sequel isn't really necessary. Whether it's late, a bit too late, or really it's a like easy cash grab or whatever. But I mean, look about it, it's it's how a sequel is done. You know, is that a good way to end this?
yeah, I think you just gotta make damn sure that it's a good sequel.
Yeah. So yeah, up. Seems out we're 20 minutes in now. Crap. Anyway, so let's start the news desk. And yeah, to continue on what we said last week about Kim Jong Un, he finally appears after 10 days, and yeah, he looks to be healthy. I'm pretty sure. Actually, let me look it up. Uh, yeah, hopefully. Wow, found Kim Jong Un dead. That's a really nice search up on this. Right. Anyways, let's ignore him altogether. There are like three pieces of news I'm going to talk about. One of them has nothing to do with the coronavirus, but the other two, one does, the other one involves it. But anyways, the first piece of news right now is that we got the first dog to have the coronavirus, a pug, and
Oh, Pug.
yeah, this is yeah, America now has the first animal that has the coronavirus, a tiger in the Bronx Zoo, now a pug.
Oh, it's a tiger.
Yeah, there was a tiger that had the virus in the Bronx Zoo. Do not tell me how that happened, but yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah, yeah. Actually, let's focus on that a little quick because I want to know how to tell a tiger got coronavirus. Were they like feeding it the bats from Wuhan or something, or that's actually kind of weird. I understand the pug, but because we are connected with domesticated animals like that. But a freaking tiger, that's weird. Hmm. Another thing I have to bring up is that I found out about this one a couple days ago, but a rabbi actually died, and 2,000 like Jewish people or whatever came to the funeral here in New York.
Oh shoot.
This is actually yeah, this is a hard time for people right now. The fact is, the fact that we're trying to do people are trying to celebrate a funeral that is, it's kind of difficult to do such a thing right nowadays. What do you think?
Yeah, there's a lot that's difficult currently with like the state of affairs that the world's in terms of not being able to gather for different things makes it very, very hard.
Yeah, yeah, and plus 2,000 like people who came to see for a funeral of a rabbi. Uh, this is, anyways. Bill Blasio is going down on this by giving out fines for people who are not social distancing, like that's happening right there. It's got also Blasio got a lot of flack for this, so yeah. How and it's all this is this is insane, man. Hmm. Anything else you can say?
Um, I mean, people gotta stay safe, take necessary precautions.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, last piece of news, and this is interesting because, like I said, it has nothing to do with coronavirus. Star cornerback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Bashad Bashad Breeland, I think his name was arrested for 5 charges.
Oh, what happened to him?
Yeah, well, there's resisting arrest, transporting unopened alcohol, open a beer of alcohol and wine in a vehicle, 20 grams of marijuana possession. Oh yeah, and driving without a license. What this is? I have to admit, I kind of laughed at the last part. Like, why would yeah? Why would anyone? Uh, I'm sorry, but he's driving without a license. That's funny. Anyways, is yeah, we're in 2019. We still have shit like this. Like there, we have like a cornerback, who goes to jail for alcohol and marijuana. This is actually weird. Uh,
Yeah, that is weird.
yeah, point. But then there's also the fact that he resisted arrest. But this this is insane. Why would you drive without a license? Sorry, I don't want to focus on that for a sec because you're in a car, you don't have your license. What are you doing? You don't have a wallet. You don't have like is your wallet at home?
Ugh. Hey, maybe that's what happened. Got his wallet. I don't know. How long is he arrested for?
It happened like a couple days ago. I know I heard he was released like 2 days ago on a bond or something. No, let me look it up. Just I'm Rashad Breeland.